Hello, welcome everyone. We are doing another Birth Control Trends Tuesday, but we're actually talking about Pandia Health today. And Dr. Yen, who is the CEO and co-founder of Pandia Health, is here to give us a rundown of how she came about Pandia Health, what kinds of services we offer, our mission, and how you too can feel comfortable in your decision to choose Pandia Health as your birth control delivery company. So before we get started, if you have an active birth control prescription, we'll talk about this, like how you can do it. Make sure to check us out, pandiahealth.com. And if you need a new birth control prescription, we are actually now covering California, Florida, Texas, and Wyoming as of today. So you can sign up online to get a doctor's consult and your birth control prescription from one of our expert doctors. So if you do that, make sure to use the code TRENDING, which is scrolling here at the bottom, to make sure you heard it from us here. Cool. So thank you so much, Dr. Yen, for being with us today. And can you give us a rundown of what kinds of services Pandia Health provides?
So the main reason we started Pandia Health was to make women's lives easier. And I'm all about hashtags. So hashtag Pandea peace of mind. We chose Pandea because she's the Greek goddess of healing, light, full moon, and then Pan is every and Dia is day. So we have you covered every day. Set it and forget it. Let Pandea worry so you don't have to. So our number one service is delivering birth control to women and shipping it to them and keep shipping it to them until you tell us to stop. Our second service is online doctor consults with birth control expert doctors that are passionate. So expert care by expert doctors. If you are new to birth control and you start on birth control, you may have to go through many different pills until you find the one that's right for you. But I've personally written 2,000 birth control prescriptions in the past 2 years. So I've seen the side effects and I've seen the difference between the academic theoretical good birth control pill and the birth control pill that actually works for most women if they want to skip their period, if they want to avoid kind of breakthrough bleeding, and has a really good balance in the side effect profile, meaning not as much not zits and less munchies and less of a worry. And because we're birth control experts, we are passionate and we write a lot of prescriptions. We know the different side effects and how to manage them. So if you've got the munchies, then maybe try this one. If you've got more acne, then try this one. If you have decreased libido, then try that one. But just as an aside, know that acne and libido are opposite sides. So if you want more libido, then you might have to suffer more acne. If you're okay with less libido, then you can have less acne. And a lot of people don't notice anything with their libido, particularly I feel in the 20 to 30-year-old range when you've just got libido going down. Above 30, you may notice it a little more. So that the reason we started this company, make women's lives easier, never have to worry about going to the pharmacy, never having, I think what we don't talk about is the insurance and how some insurances are very restrictive. They will only let you go 7 days before you run out. But you can imagine if it's Saturday, Sunday before the week you run out, I have time on Saturday and Sunday to go. But then you go in on Sunday and the pharmacy's like, nope, you can't pick it up till tomorrow. And you're like, I have work tomorrow. I have things to do. I don't have time I came now, and they're like, sorry, if you want insurance to pay, and it's not the pharmacy's fault, it's insurance. If you want insurance to pay for it, they're not going to pay for it till tomorrow. And so the beauty of Pandia Health is we go exactly 7 days and we charge it and we mail it to you. So that way you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to follow these days. You don't have to know their silly rules. We take care of that for you. And so our mantra, ideally, no one runs out of birth control on our watch, but we can't help it if your insurance is evil. If some evil administration shuts down the U.S. Postal Service, we're actually proud that we use the U.S. Postal Service because nor rain, nor sleet, nor snow should block your mail and therefore will not affect your birth control as well, because that's what we use to get you your birth control.
Yeah, especially now with COVID-19 and everything, it's especially important to be home and not leaving as much. So if you don't have to go out for your birth control, then yeah.
And especially the pharmacy, because as the winter comes and the flu season comes, we won't know what's flu. We won't know what's COVID. Better not to be coughed on or touch anybody or anything to the best of your ability. Better to just come in the mail And also, a lot of people are contemplating not getting pregnant at this time. One, for financial issues, because they just can't afford to have a baby in their household with insecure income, etc.
Yeah.
But also, just now is not a time to be in the hospital, because right now they're learning and realizing you can have a mother be with the baby, but a lot of them weren't even letting, the other significant person in the room, and certainly not grandma and grandpa. So if you want to have the ultimate birth with as much help as possible, it'd be nice to do it once we've figured out this COVID thing, and not necessarily right now.
Yeah. So better to have a good rein on your contraceptives if you want to avoid that experience. For when we're signing up for birth control, Pandia Health, what kind of information do we need to provide in order to get birth control?
Yeah. So if you have a prescription, and a prescription is a technical legal order or document. So only certain people in this country can write a prescription: a physician, a nurse practitioner, a physician's assistant, and there might be one other category that can write a prescription. Some pharmacists in some states can write a prescription for birth control. But if you have not seen any one of those people in the past year and asked them, give me a birth control prescription, then you don't have a valid birth control prescription. And in the old days, it used to be a piece of paper, but now we can just type it in the computer and send it along. So if you have an active prescription, and the best way to know whether or not you have an active prescription is you just left the doctor's office and they sent one in somewhere, or you told them to send it into Pandia Health's partner pharmacy, or two, you just went to the pharmacy and picked up a pack of birth control pill, patch, ring, and it says on here you got more than 0 refills, then yes, you have an active prescription. But if none of those fit, then you don't have an active prescription. But if you have an active prescription and you're sick of running to the pharmacy, sick of flipping out, oh my God, I'm gonna run out of birth control, and you wanna get #Pandea peace of mind, all we need to know is, where is that prescription? So you tell us the name of the pharmacy, ideally the number and the street, because we realize there's many Walgreens on El Camino Real in California, and then the city and the state, which we'll get from you. Then we need to know the address where you want it sent. Any address, anywhere. We have no restrictions in the United States. We can deliver to all 50 states. And then the front and back of your pharmacy insurance card. Some people have a different insurance card for pharmacy versus regular, but most people it's all in one. Depends. And then that's it. If you don't have insurance, then we need a credit card from you to cover the medications. We also take debit cards as well. And it's about $15 per pack for most birth control pills, unless you want a very specific name brand, in which case, for example, Yaz or Yasmin name brand will cost crazy money. But if you ask for generic Yaz or Yasmin, $15 per pack, 3-pack minimum. If you want 1 pack at a time because you only can afford that, or you just want to try 1 pack before, we generally suggest you try 3 packs before you give up, then it's $20. And it's $20 because we have to cover our shipping, handling, overhead, our our patient care advocates, our website, all that overhead and legal stuff that we have to deal with.
Yeah. Sorry.
So that's how you do it if you have a prescription. If you don't have a prescription, then you can use our expert birth control doctors. You pay just $20 once a year, and you have the whole year's access to ask as many birth control questions as you want. Not other health questions only related to your birth control. Other health questions, go see your doctor. We're only here for birth control. Any emergency, call 911. We're only here for birth control. And if you have a birth control emergency, still call 911, because we are not your primary doctor. We are not here 24/7. If it's something that's non-urgent, yes, we are here for that. So pay $20. We need a picture of your face, no sunglasses, no anything obscuring your face, no filters with bunny ears and mascara that's not really you, that messes up your eyes so we can't see. And then a government ID, ideally with definitely your name, but ideally your date of birth and address so that we can, confirm you are who you are. And we use that government ID to match against your photo. You can't use the exact same photo. We've had people take a picture of their photo on their ID. No, we need a separate photo to confirm you are who you are. It's a legal thing. And then we need a blood pressure. So you can call up your doctor's office and say, hey, what was my blood pressure in the past year if you were there in the past year? Or you can call up your local fire station. Most of them are EMTs. Most of them can take your blood pressure and just call and say, hey, I need my blood pressure taken. Could you please check my blood pressure? And they're like, sure, as long as we aren't, dealing with a fire or chasing a cat up a tree. But most of the time they're hanging out there waiting for that emergency, and they can perform a public service of checking your blood pressure if you need it.
And it's within this past year blood pressure?
Yeah, within the past year. So it doesn't have to be within the past month, 3 months, 364 days if you've had a blood pressure at some point. If you have a neighbor, if your dad has a blood pressure cuff, you could even post on Nextdoor. Anybody have a blood pressure cuff I can borrow if you want to do that, but you want to sit down calmly for 5 minutes, put your arm at heart level. You don't want it above or below, and then check the number and send it to us.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say it's similar to the transfer process in that we'll need where you want it sent, the front and back of your insurance card or your credit card. We'll need your credit card to cover the $20 because we don't bill insurance for that. If you want to get reimbursed for that by your insurance, we're happy to generate a receipt and send it to you, and you can deal with your insurance company. But for $20, it isn't worth our time or stress to hunt down your insurance company. We'd rather just take care of it here and know that you're getting quite a deal. Like if you were to walk into a doctor's office for the same visit, it could cost you $200 to $750. And we've now taken it down to $20 with as many questions as you want for a year. Whereas again, if you were to go to a doctor's office, they could charge you $20, $30 or $100 or whatever they want, or they would bill your insurance every single time you contact them. So.
Yeah. And how often do you have questions like after you leave your doctor's office that you're like, oh man, I wish I could ask, but you can't. So it's awesome that you guys still get to speak with your patients if they have questions throughout the process.
So we don't necessarily speak with you, but you can type in your questions and it will go through the patient care advisor and it will go to a physician. We've noticed that maybe other platforms or patient care advisors just give advice. We've instructed ours not to give advice and to run stuff by the doctors. So we have doctors.
Yeah, expert care. The expert
care. Yes.
So you kind of touched upon this, but how does a virtual doctor's appointment work? Like, is it a video call? Is it text?
Great question. So Pandea Health is different from other general telemedicine companies like Teladoc. And what we like is what it's called asynchronous. So a lot of people have learned the word asynchronous thanks to asynchronous education. Are they going to be doing school live video or are they going to be doing it taped and then later? And so Pandea Health has no video, no telephone requirement. And the reason for that is they've shown that if you ask confidential questions, how many sexual partners have you had? Is there any possible way you could be pregnant? How much birth control methods have you used? How long have you been having sex? Things like that. People are actually more likely to reveal honestly the answer by questionnaire than if you have to look me in the eye or you even have to hear my voice in case you worry that you'll hear judgment. Like, oh, really? That many? Something like that. Whereas a questionnaire, people fill out and will reveal their most intimate details. But also in COVID, while we're sheltering at home, you can imagine if I'm asking you, when was your last period? And you're like, 3 months ago. Is there any possible way you could be pregnant? No, there's no way I could be pregnant. I haven't had sex in 6 months. And you're like, ooh, my daughter, my husband, my parents, my roommate, the next door neighbor already heard that. And so by doing it by questionnaire, we protect your confidentiality as well. And we allow you to do it 24/7. Because if we have to match you up with the doctor, then we have to find a time that works for you and the doctor. But this 24/7, you fill it out. 24/7, our doctors look at it. And so our doctors will generally get back to you in 1 business day. So Saturdays and Sundays, we do have people working, but we're not going to guarantee you that they're working, but they generally are. but 1 business day for the physician to get back to you. Sometimes we have questions, but if everything's good, then usually the prescription's written. If you gave us insurance, we bill it, we ship it, and pharmacy's closed on Sunday, but that's because pharmacy's closed on Sunday.
Yeah. And you said that there's 7 doctors at Pandia Health right now?
There are 7 doctors at Pandea Health, and I'm so proud that each and every one is passionate about helping women, making sure women get access, that no one runs out of birth control on our watch, that people know about periods optional, which is a way that if you know anybody with a uterus that's bleeding 1 week out of 4, they don't have to bleed, and they can decrease cancer, decrease landfill, and improve attendance at school and work. So please share #periodsoptional or go to pandiahealth.com/periodsoptional. But I love our doctors. Take a look at our team. We proudly display them on our website. If you go to other companies, you may not see any of their doctors listed, or one website I saw listed the first name, but not the last name. I think that's a little sketch.
Yeah. I really like the periods optional mission too. That was one of the things, like the first things I learned from Dr. Yen. And I was like, wow, I didn't know that you could just not bleed. So that's something that I'm very glad that you guys are advocating for, or like letting people know that that's an option that is good for your health too.
Yes, we're really proud of sharing cutting edge, evidence-based care and knowledge with people via YouTube, Facebook Live, Instagram Live. We have a ton of frequently asked questions. I go on Quora and I answer a bunch of questions. I recently did a little Reddit after a hiatus because I went on Reddit and did a Ask Me Anything, and some evil dude like came after me, some evil troll. Always a dude. Grr.
Okay, awesome. So for going back to the prescription, so how does one transfer over an active prescription instead of getting a new one from a doctor?
So if you have an active prescription, meaning that you just pick some up and it doesn't say 0 refills, then all you got to do is tell us the pharmacy, name, address, and we're good. And then give us the address you want it sent to. Again, anywhere that the USPS will go. And then the front and the back of your insurance card, pharmacy info. We don't need your health if it's a different card, or a credit card to cover the medications, and done. Set it and forget it. Get Pandea peace of mind.
Yeah. And then automatic refills. So you don't have to be worrying like, I need to go.
And you as a customer don't have to do anything other than give us that information. We will contact that pharmacy and say, hey, this patient wants her medications delivered with free delivery and free goodies every single month, and never have to worry about running to the pharmacy or getting coughed on and catching COVID. And so then we'll move it from their pharmacy to our partner pharmacy, bill your insurance, ship it to your door. But once you give us that information, we're moving it. We've had some patients like, I didn't give you permission. And it's like, you gave us the name of your pharmacy. Yeah, gave us your insurance card or credit card. And 90% of the time you've signed the consent. So we moved it.
Well, good.
So if you don't want to move, don't give us your information.
Yeah. And then I guess going off of that, is my medical information safe when I sign up for Pandea Health Services?
So as soon as you log in or create an account with your name and your email, then you've entered our HIPAA compliant confidential website. Like if you're just on our website and stuff like that, not so confidential. But as soon as you've created an account and are behind the Pandea site, and the difference you'll know if you're really geeky, there's www, not confidential. app.pandiahealth.com is where you go as soon as you create that account. Confidential, because by law, we are bound by HIPAA, the Health Information Patient Portability Accountability Act, something like that. And it is a national law. It's not California. And we have to keep everything confidential. We will share your health information with the partner pharmacy, because we got to do that to, one, make sure we're safely giving you the medications, you're not allergic to it, and that you don't have any health thing that would counteract the birth control or do something bad to your body. And then we will give the pharmacy your insurance info, because they have to charge it to get the medications. So, but other stuff is totally confidential, only by people that have signed legal agreements to keep stuff confidential, HIPAA confidential. So we do not share any of your confidential health information outside of the pharmacist and a need to know. The patient care advisors will see that information because they're going to answer questions and need to know, but they've all been HIPAA certified. And our website is HIPAA compliant. And you can see all the compliance logos that we have.
Yeah. I'm actually going to share my screen and show you guys a little bit of what our website looks like. So if you are signing up, let's see. Okay, so you guys can see here, click Get Started is where you go to sign up. And then here at the bottom right is the chat. Usually, there's you put in your name and your email, and then you get in contact with somebody. And then after you log in, it's when it's confidential, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yes?
Yes. Once you log in, then it's confidential. And actually, the live chat, I believe, is confidential. After every chat, they delete it. So, but if you create an account with us, then I suggest creating an account and then doing live chat, because then we keep a record of it, because you'll be like, but I had all these questions and I answered, like, don't you know me? And it's like, well, did you create an account? Because if you didn't create an account, it all got erased. But if you create an account, then we'll record it and we'll be like, oh, I see last time you asked about X, Y, and Z. We answered XXX. And so, kind of continue the conversation there. So in general, create an account and then do the live chat. But if you don't want to create an account, you can do the live chat before. And then know that, we're not a free answer service, but we hope you sign up, and then we're happy to answer whatever questions you have. But in general, we'll answer whatever questions you want on Facebook Live, Instagram, YouTube, any platform, because we just believe information is power.
Yeah. There's a lot of educational content, like our blogs and like YouTube videos already out there. So make sure to check that out. And then I wanted to share again my screen just to show you guys what it looks like once you're already in the process of signing up and trying to get a doctor's consult or prescription. So here, it'll ask you a few questions like your name, your ad, or your state, phone number to get in contact with you. And then here is, do you need a prescription? You have one at a pharmacy, or your provider is sending it. And then it'll ask you for the address of your pharmacy and all the information, which Dr. Yen already mentioned, like the pictures of your insurance card. So how would it work if you don't have insurance?
If you don't have insurance, then we ask you, are you paying by insurance or credit card / debit card? So if you click credit card, debit card, then we don't ask you any insurance questions, and we just get your credit card. And as I mentioned before, most birth control pills are $15 a pack with a 3-pack minimum. So you have to pay $45 and you'll get 3 packs. And then if you can only afford 1 pack at a time, then it's $20 per pack. And that's to cover our shipping, handling, overhead, all the staff, et cetera, et cetera. Because if we charge less than that, then we would lose money. So we can't run a money-losing company, but we're not trying to make crazy money off of you all. So if you don't have insurance, then it's $15, 3-pack minimum for most birth control pills, as long as you're not asking for an expensive name brand. So specifically Yaz or Yasmin would cost a lot of money. But if you ask for generic Yaz or generic Yasmin, $15 a pack. And then if you are having difficulty ever or during COVID, there is Pandea Health Birth Control Fund. So if you go to Pandea Health /social good, or if you go to Pandea Health and at the bottom of our page, the very, very bottom, it has our social good. We have the Pandea Health Birth Control Fund. If you have money, please donate to help other people that need it. If you need help or financial aid, we have a button to apply for financial aid. And we look at that quarterly, and it can cover the telemedicine visit, which is $20 just once a year for whole year access to our birth control experts. Or if you need it to cover a couple packs while you're struggling through hard times, then, there's a committee, they look at it and they decide. It also depends how much money we get. So if we get a ton of donations, and we can give out a ton of financial aid. But if we don't have any donations, then it is what it is. And those people making donations, it's tax deductible. It's out of a nonprofit 501c3 Center for Policy Analysis, which believes in healthcare for all. So we share common values.
Awesome. And so definitely, if you know somebody who doesn't have health insurance and needs birth control, let them know about the Pandia Health Fund so that they may get some birth control in their pockets and take control over their uteri.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Yen. I believe that Daisy is doing a watch party right after this. So if you're watching right now, make sure to hop on over to Daisy's watch party in 1 minute. So thank you guys for joining. Every Tuesday, we're going to be talking about birth control question trends. And yeah, Dr. Yen will be here next week. And make sure to check out pandiahealth.com for all of our services, blogs, sign up. You guys, we just gave you a thorough insight into how to do it. We hope we gave you enough information, but if we didn't, make sure to leave that in the comments and we'll try to get to some more questions next week. Okay, thank you guys, and follow us on all social media platforms.
Thank you. Share with your friends.
Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.